So today I am making chocolate sourdough bread. I've made this a few times. Sometimes it turns out light and fluffy like a muffin, and sometimes it turns out a little thick like a brownie. But it's the same recipe, so I don't know. But it's always really good. I start by adding 320 grams of dechlorinated water. Then I add 120 grams of active bubbly starter. My starter had doubled. I just took a little bit of it out for a different recipe, so if you look at the rubber band, it looks like it didn't double, but it did. Then mix it together till the water looks milky and there's no big chunks left. I got the cutest measuring cups I've ever seen at Home Goods. They look like little pots. The one cup is the only one with 2 handles. I was so excited to use these. Then you add 450 grams of unbleached flour to your bowl of starter and water. Then add 50 grams of cocoa powder. And 200 grams of sugar. Then mix it all together. Don't mix it till it's smooth, just till you have a shaggy dough. Then cover it with a wet cloth and let it sit for an hour. After an hour, we're going to do our first set of stretch and folds. But first, we have to add the salt. 2 teaspoons. You can add the salt when you're adding in the rest of your ingredients, but it helps with proofing if you wait a little bit. With clean, wet hands, knead the salt into the dough. Then we're going to add in 1 cup of chocolate chips and just do a regular stretch and fold. I like to do 4 stretch and folds every 30 minutes, about 5 or 6 times. Then cover it up and let it sit for 30 minutes. Then we do a second set of stretch and folds with clean, wet hands. Wetting your hands helps the dough not stick as much. Then we do our third set, again with clean, wet hands. Cover it up and wait another 30 minutes. Then do it again. Cover it up and wait another 30 minutes. Last time. Then flip your dough out onto a lightly floured counter. This dough was really wet, so I dusted the top with flour. Then I just shaped it like I shaped my normal sourdough. Then I let it sit for 10 minutes. Then I floured the banneton basket and my hands and reshaped the dough. Then I put it smooth side down in my floured banneton basket. Then I floured the top and put it in the fridge overnight. The next morning, I took it out of the fridge and let it sit for 1 hour. After 30 minutes, I set the oven to 475 to preheat. Then I flipped it onto a piece of parchment paper. I did 2 expansion scores. When I preheated my oven, I also preheated my Dutch oven. So put your hot Dutch oven onto a cutting board, and it will burn a little brown mark onto your cutting board. Then put your sourdough into your hot Dutch oven. Sometimes I'll cut this top of the parchment paper that sticks out because it does get very brown and brittle. Then put the lid back on and put it in the oven. The bottom of the chocolate bread burns really easily, so I stuck a thick baking sheet under the bottom of it. I bake it for 20 minutes, and then I take the lid off. and bake it for another 20 minutes, or until the inside reaches 200 degrees. After you take the lid off, turn the temperature down to 450. It did not spring up as much as I thought it would, but it's still going to taste good. Take it out of the pot and put it onto a cooling rack. Let it sit for 2 hours before cutting it. This is what the inside looks like. It was a little more dense this time, but it was still delicious. Here is the final result. If you like this video, press subscribe to follow along with my sourdough journey. I post a new video every Friday. Thanks for watching.